Welcome to the weekly close live here on the Passive Income Podcast. Sorry we're running a few minutes late this week. My job was really trying to drive me to drink, but I'm holding strong. I just have water, so I'm good. Hopefully, talking to you, Joseph, will settle my nerves and calm me down a little bit and keep me away from the
Ooh,
booze.
that's I will do my best, Dave, but I make no promises.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Well, I guess we'll get into the closing numbers of the week. And while I'm pulling up those screens, why don't you talk about marketplace or anything else you want to plug?
I think today I'm actually gonna shout out my HOA.
Your HOA. Not too
Yeah,
many people shout out the HOAs.
yeah, as I was telling Dave, I just got home not 10 minutes ago from we're working on renting. We bought a new house, working on renting the old one out. Had the handyman come out today and help me out with some stuff. And one of those things was changing out a window.
Oh,
Man, we
fun.
had we had the old window out, and we're getting everything ready to put the new window in when the HOA rolls up and starts yelling at us about how every house is required to have proper windows and blinds. And I guess in my mind, I just want to know, what did she think we were doing?
Yeah, just gonna leave
Like,
leave this like wide open gap in the middle of a wall.
for no reason.
Right.
But okay, that's my shout out to my HOA today.
Fun, fun. All right, starting as always with the Toronto Stock Exchange. Down a little bit on the day, quite a bit on the day. It had quite a run yesterday, actually. If I switch over to the 5-day chart, you'll see actually looks like all 3 days, Wednesday, Thursday, and then this morning it dropped off. So when I guess just Wednesday and Thursday it had a good little run up there. From Tuesday was down quite low, but anyways, closing the week at 22,059, and that is in CAD, Canadian dollars. We'll jump right along to the S&P. I did see a post today about the S&P hitting another all-time high. I believe it was on Wednesday.
Wednesday, we closed today at an all-time high too.
Oh,
Same with
oh,
the
this is
same with
another all-time high on the
yeah,
S&P.
same with the Nasdaq, all-time high close today.
Yeah, so obviously here just kind of jumps over Thursday. The U.S. was closed yesterday for 4th of July, Independence Day. But the S&P closing this week, the end of Friday at 5,567. Strong. That's the 5-day chart here on the S&P. I'm still looks like Tuesday. It had quite a. I guess that's Monday
Yep.
morning. The chart's kind of wonky with that day missing. I guess it goes back to last Friday for the 5-day. Monday's low. Tuesday was kind of starting to recover. Then had quite a run up here. Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday morning, and then again today, Friday. So very interesting. Along to the Dow Jones, still on the 5-day, closing the week at 39,375. And again, here on, well, that's last Friday. It looks like it had quite the run up there Monday morning, right at open, and then dropped off by 10:30 Monday.
I mean, didn't we all though?
Yeah, I guess, right.
Except for you, you had a day off on Monday.
I did have a day off last Monday because of Canada Day. So yeah, what a broken up week on both because of the closures on both sides of the border. Just yeah, makes professional life a little difficult when you're trying to get things done. Like literally at work this week on Tuesday, I was like, oh, I've got to do this like right now to like get it here from the States like by Thursday so they can load it on Wednesday and get it into Canada by Thursday morning. I was like,
Cause
oh
you,
yeah.
cause you know they ain't doing it Thursday.
Well, exactly right. Um,
That's the day where we celebrate America by blowing up a small part of it.
yeah. We'll get through the closing numbers and then we'll get back to that. The Canadian dollar still not very strong against its the greenback counterpart at 73 cents. Sorry, Joe, I still cannot afford to come and visit you.
Which actually, I meant to comment on that. You are getting very close. You may have hit it by now. Your first ever YouTube payout.
Well, as long as somebody clicks on an ad, not even clicks on an ad, watches an ad on this video, yeah, we'll hit it today.
I was gonna say, like, you're talking about that's $100 payout. I don't know, Dave. Looks like 73 to me.
Yeah, good point. Good point. It's $100 to me though, so Crude oil, a barrel of crude oil on the New York Mercantile closing the week at $83.44 in USD. Ooh, give me some of that light sweet crude. That is not light sweet crude. That is just crude oil. But Bitcoin in Canadian dollars, of course, Bitcoin never closes. Bitcoin has taken a real nosedive this week. Yeah, there's even let's look at the 1 month.
Ooh, yeah, we're down, and I every time you pull it up in CAD, I've got to pull up the USD chart, and yeah, we're under 57,000
Yeah,
USD.
it was actually floating around. It was below 56 at one point today. So
Oh wow, it's below 55 at one point today.
yeah, that's believable.
Wow. Sorry, Bitcoin, bro. It was below 54 at one point today.
Oh, was it that low? Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, at 5 a.m. it hit 53,928. Yeah, so sorry, Bitcoin bros. Hope you're doing okay.
Yeah. It's fine. It'll bounce back. It always does. Gold closing the week at
Not
$2,399.80.
investment advice.
Yeah, no. Then again, that's USD here. I'm on yahoofinance.ca. So as always, if you're on yahoofinance.ca, just pay attention if you're looking at things in Canadian or US dollars. The Nasdaq had quite the run as well. Let's get back to the 5-day chart. Closing the week at 18,352. Last Friday, again, because we're going on the 5-day, had a little run up there Friday morning. Kind of down Friday. Remember we were talking about that last Friday, like what happened last Friday afternoon.
Yeah, it suddenly just kind of dropped.
Had it looks like 10 a.m. Monday morning, had a little bit of a low all the way down to 17,664, and then just the rest of the week, a steady, strong rise. So yeah, good on the NASDAQ. And of course, our friends, where are we next? Oh yes, our friends over in the United Kingdom, Great Britain. The FTSE closing the week at 8,203. I'm going to say it. Quid.
I'd be offended if you didn't.
8,200 quid for the FTSE this week. And shout out to Akito watching Saturday morning over there in Japan. We're still on the 5-day chart. And of course, Japan was not closed yesterday, so their 5-day starts on Monday. And it looks like it had quite the run up for most of the week as well. And then a little bit of a tail off here going into Friday afternoon. A little slight recovery right at the end of the day, but the Nikkei closing at 40,912 Japanese yen. And just for fun, we always like to point out that I cannot afford to go to Europe either. The Canadian dollar to the euro is even weaker than it is against the greenback. All right, Joseph, that's pretty much it for this episode. This week's episode of the Weekly Close Line.
It really is, though. It really is.
Oh, hold on. We've got someone in the chat. Let's hold on. We might actually. There are a few closing numbers. Charter, good time to buy. It's always a good time to buy.
Charter saw, for anyone who doesn't follow him on Twitter, Charter saw a bear this week.
A bear.
Charter's on vacation with his family. Nice. So, Charter, I know what you had instead of coffee in the morning. Have another margarita for me tonight.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too. Nice. It's been a while since I've seen a bear. I haven't seen a bear in a few years now.
My sister, man, this is really what this week's podcast is gonna be. Man, my sister's dog name is Bear. If that counts, it's only been like a month and a half for me.
Fair enough. Okay, I am going to get to the close or the earnings of this week, and there's really nothing, right?
There was one stock that I watched. The rest of this we're about to do on the fly. We're gonna pick up the funniest stock each day and talk about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I promise anyone watching, you got financial questions, life questions, mixed drink questions. What should I do this weekend questions? Hit me and Dave. We'll answer them all live. I've got the chat pulled up on.
We are here to answer questions this week, so please jump into the chat because literally the earnings reports. First of all, I didn't see anything on Monday. There was obviously nothing Canadian on Monday with the Canadian holiday. And then here we go on Tuesday.
Charter.
MCS.
Charter. At-home margaritas are a thing, just for the record.
We'll pull that right up there. Oh yeah, you can totally make margs at home. Like there's no law against it.
Sir, you just got a new house. I'm sure one of your neighbors will let you borrow a blender.
Right? Or it can't be that far to the closest to Walmart or Costco or Target
Also
to
true.
buy a blender, right? Blenders can't be that expensive.
So I guess let's just look at it. Let's do, what is MSM? What does MSM do?
No idea.
MSC Industrial Direct. They are engaged in distribution of metalworking, maintenance, repair, and operations products and services, such as cutting tools, measurement instruments, tooling components, metal. There's a whole list here. They do a lot of stuff.
Okay, so like metals and tooling and that kind of fun stuff.
Down about 3% on the week. Let's see here. Down 23% on the year. Year to date, that is down 18% year over year. But still up 407% since IPO in 2000. They kind of hit earnings, $1.33 a share, actual over $1.34 estimated. Yeah, that's all I got. It's a dividend stock, 4.18% yield, and apparently a lot of people are buying it just for the dividend because according to this report on Morningstar, they've got pretty good free cash flow.
Right.
That's all I got.
Okay. Radius Recycling. I did tweet out, and I know you saw it because I tagged you saying that you were excited to talk about Radius Recycling this week. I did that in an effort in hopes that you might actually look them up or know something about them. I'm going out on a limb here and saying they're a recycling company.
Yeah, they are. Actually, fun fact. I did look them up, not gainfully, just like their stock this week, down 2.5%. Down about 7-8% on the month, down 22% over the last 3 months, down almost 50% year to date. Stock ain't doing well, boys.
No, they're hurting.
Market cap about $424 million. But you're right, they are a recycling company who specializes in scrap metal. And why that company is publicly traded and that big, I'll never fully understand. But kind of looking at the strict earnings call, this is another one. I actually tried to Google this, and I could not find anything good in their news-wise regarding their earnings call because it kind of seemed like nobody really cared. But I mean, to hit the high note, EPS came in at negative 59 cents a share over negative 66 a share expected. So surprise, surprise, they are not profitable, but they are slightly less not profitable than what Wall Street expected. So, good for them.
Ooh, it still sounds painful.
Yeah, they also have a 4.7% dividend yield despite being heavily unprofitable.
Yeah, why are they still paying it? I love dividends and I love seeing that cash roll in, but why would you still be paying a dividend when you're like so poor? Like
the easiest answer to that, honest to God, is because typically what they would teach you in a classroom is probably because there are a few owners who own the majority of the shares and are just trying to milk it dry.
Right.
That is what the classroom answer. Why this specific company or case study is still doing it is beyond me. Yeah, but that is what they would teach you in a college classroom.
All right. So we're almost through this entire week's earnings with Tuesday after close Simulations Plus. I have no idea what they are.
I really hope they're a VR company. Oh, wow. I've got to really dig for them. SLP. Good ticker. I didn't look this one up. Down 19.5% on the week. Modeling and simulation software for drug dispensaries, development research, and regulatory submissions. So I guess they're kind of in the healthcare kind of sector. They did beat earnings, 19 cents a share actual, 15 cents a share estimated. Hey, real quick, for anyone tuning into the show for the first time or, for the second time, man, it's not usually like
it's not always this bad. No, like some weeks there's really interesting things to talk about, and this week is not one of them.
No, we are at 6 months of doing this, and honestly, the earnings calendar rolls over every 3 months, and there's usually a couple weeks there where we have nothing to talk about. And probably the worst week of the nothing to talk about happened to line up with Canada Day and the 4th of July.
Exactly.
And for all my fellow punk rock fans out there, it was also Blink-182 Day.
I don't know what I don't know what that means.
Blink-182 is a band, and on a non-leap year, July 1st is the 181st day of the year.
Oh, I see.
Or no, 182nd, excuse me, on a non-leap year. So this year was the 183rd because it's a leap year, but I'm celebrating anyway.
Yes, I'm well aware that Blink 182 is a band, but I didn't realize that I don't count the days of how many days are in it. Well,
I saw it on Twitter one time, like years and years ago, and I'm just kind of it's one of those
you just
things that
remembered.
stuck with me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Tom's back in the band now, so life is good.
Okay, and then the last earnings report of the week.
That's so pitiful. I love it.
Wednesday. You can't even see that because it's so small. I should have cropped this photo and made it better. But anyways, Constellation Brands.
So Modelo is my go-to beer. I'm a Modelo fan, and Corona is my backup. So I am a very big Constellation fan. I don't own any of the stock, which is probably a shame, really. But Modelo or Constellation, they make some pretty good products. And statistically speaking, if you are watching this podcast, you probably agree. Constellation Brands up 3.5% today, up only about 0.75% on the week. Kind of a little bit of a mixed earnings call. So if you kind of break down their business into segments, I guess let's start with the high numbers. Actual $3.57 a share, $3.46 a share estimated. So we did have a slight earnings beat. Despite that, the stock kind of did meh. So statistically, what happened? Or I guess looking at the numbers into it, what happened? So beer sales and like beer market share for Modelo and Corona, specifically Modelo, are way up. If it's not already, Modelo is well on its way to becoming America's #1 favorite beer. And
Really?
and Mexican beers are seeing massive rises in the U.S. right now. And of course, with Constellation having the two biggest Mexican beers on the market.
Because you would think it would be something like All American, like Budweiser or even Samuel Adams or something.
Bud kind of took a hit due to a marketing
I'm aware.
decision.
Well, that was
recently.
Bud Light. That was Bud Light.
Well, I mean,
all of Anheuser-Busch took a bit of a hit.
Yeah, I think most people like Bud Light over Bud Heavy. I know I do.
Look at this.
How can you talk beer with Dave? I'm trying to avoid it as much as I can. I am very proud of his dry July.
Yeah, today being day 7, and like I said, my work was doing its best to drive me to drink today, but here I am holding strong with just a glass of water. So
I guess you could say I'm also participating in dry July. Despite some of my tweets yesterday, I am fully sober and was then. But yeah, so beer sales are through the roof. Beer projections are through the roof. But if you kind of divide Constellation, it's not just a beer company. They also have wine and spirits. And sales for wine and spirits across the board, not just Constellation, aren't looking good.
Okay.
So that's kind of where they're at. And with that said, we've now killed 20 minutes.
And there were no earnings on Thursday in the U.S. because of the 4th of July. And
Charters came in. Modelo is the most sold beer in America, has been for months, I believe. Oh, okay. And Tom, the savings captain, shout out to him, says he's drinking a Modelo sitting on a love sack celebrating Blink-182 Day. Tom, I love you.
Why isn't Tom?
That's the life.
He must be commenting on. Well, Boomer commented from Twitter as well.
Tom's in the YouTube chat. They really did, though. They really, really did. Like,
sorry, I missed Tom's comment. Sorry to interrupt. Drinking Modelo, sitting on the love sack, celebrating Blink-182. Life is good. And we are going to get to why I believe you should YOLO your entire life savings into Lovesack later in this episode. So,
ladies and gentlemen, I have not heard this pitch yet. But I do want to comment on what Charter said. So, yeah, they really, really did. Like, I don't want to, say good idea, bad idea from support way. I try not to, especially publicly state any of my political opinions because it's a losing battle. Nobody cares.
Right.
But I can definitively say from a marketing decision, Anheuser-Busch, you screwed up.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you alienated a large portion of who was buying your product.
Like 99% of the people that are buying their product thinking that, yeah. Anyways, we'll leave that one there because I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to mention the person's name or what happened. I'm sure most people are aware of what we're
And
talking about.
it's kind of crazy because aren't we like a couple years past that now?
I would say that happened, 2 years ago. Just to stick with, I guess, the alcohol theme here for a minute. Kind of a side note here in Ontario, the LCBO, the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, which is actually the retail store. It's just called the LCBO. They are actually going on strike, I believe, next week. So,
proof the Canadians have French in their blood. You're going on strike.
yeah. And so, anyways, it really doesn't affect anything because there are still so many other places to buy beer. Like, literally, there's another store called the Beer Store, and
all right,
yeah, and then you can still buy beer in several grocery stores and corner stores. It's not the same as in the U.S. or even Quebec, where you can just buy it in literally every single grocery store. But more and more grocery stores have beer now, so I'm not really sure what the LCBO thinks they're going to accomplish with this strike because, in reality, it's not going to really affect too many people. They're just going to go and buy their booze elsewhere.
Actually, you know what? Well, let's swap alcohol stories real quick because I just thought of another one. About a week and a half ago, my wife and I went out to dinner, and dinner I ordered a beer, and I asked the waitress if she needed to see my ID, and she said no, they don't ID anyone under 35. I'll be 27 in November for everybody watching at home. Which is crazy because this is not the first time this has happened.
Yeah, well, don't feel bad. I haven't been ID'd in over 30 years. So
yeah, I'm right there with you now.
Yeah, you're right there.
I've been told it's the beard.
Yeah, definitely part of it. Okay, so there were no earnings on Thursday, obviously, and nothing on Friday that I saw either on either side of the border. So I guess.
So Dave, why should our viewers at home YOLO into Lovesack? Please educate me and them.
Well, yes, exactly. Give me another minute here. I was going to do that while you were talking, but I got distracted about the whole or stories about alcohol. Well, look at the beautiful red on that chart first. Like, red is such a vibrant color, right? No, you're not buying that? That's only the one.
I was going to say, I need something to prove you're not making this up on the spot. That's all I'm asking.
Okay, so the Lovesack company, ticker symbol LOVE. So right away, you got to like this company, right? Closing this week on the NASDAQ in USD at $21.46 per share, down 3.64% on the day. Where, let's look here, the 52-week high, well, the days range, they were as high as 22.29 today. The 52-week range as low as 14. So, you get in there at 14 and then you double your money up to 29, right? Like, it's just math. It's that easy. It's really that easy. You're still not buying. Can I the red on that? This whole chart is like red.
Can I add
everything is red?
Can I add another technical factor that you hadn't thought of?
Sure.
So as of their last earnings call, Lovesack officially reported they have 1,991 employees. Right?
Okay, sure.
So, 1991 is how many employees they have. Dave, what did the S&P 500 return in 1991? 26.31%. One of the best years ever.
There you go.
Coincidence?
No, obviously not.
No, definitely that was planned. that was our boy Sean David Nelson letting us know what his plan for the future is.
Yeah, exactly. So again, just going back to Lovesack, 21.46. It's probably going to go down more next week. You look at this 1-day chart, it really took a little bit of a hit most of the late morning and early all afternoon, just down, down, down all afternoon. So, I'd wait till Monday and see if it's down some more before you buy in. Again, the 5 days going back to last Friday because of the holiday in the US yesterday. Friday had a nice little run up actually, and then Friday and Monday, that's 2 days there, a little run up, and then bam, wow. Monday at 11:15, there must have been some bad news or something because we had quite a drop there. I just can't believe. Literally, I thought when I was clicking through here, I was going to see green somewhere, but it's just red everywhere.
Which to actually add to kind of that, so I'm kind of just looking up Lovesac price analysis right now, and so I'm on Tip Ranks. If anyone at home knows what Tip Ranks is, please explain it to me. Apparently, there's 6 analysts are giving the stock a strong buy rating, saying it could be as much as $36 per share 12 months from now.
Well, right here on Yahoo Finance, the 1-year target is 33.50. And if we go down further here on Yahoo Finance, does it have?
As of June 2024, they had 9 analysts rank it. 1 rated as a strong buy, 8 is just a buy.
Yeah, so right here, I'm on a 1.8 between a buy and a strong buy.
What do they know that we don't?
I don't know, but strong buy, like nobody is saying hold or underperform or sell. Everyone is saying strong buy.
Okay, why should I buy Lovesac stock? Let me look this up.
2 Landmark Square, Suite 300, Stamford, Connecticut. If anyone is, in the Connecticut area and wants to check out the Lovesac headquarters, and of course, shout out to their website, www.lovesac.com. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to throw in a giveaway because I so doubt this is going to happen. I don't know what you'll get, but you will get something from Dave and I. First one to send us a selfie of yourself in front of the Lovesac corporate headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. I don't know what we'll send you, but we will make it worth your while.
Yeah, exactly. I might still be able to find a passive income posse coffee mug or something like that.
That's what I was going to say. How much merch you still got? I mean, we could. I will pay to one-off some passive income podcast merch if someone did that for us.
Definitely. So honestly, as everyone knows, I kind of joking about Lovesac, but honestly, now that we're looking more into it, yeah, sure, there's a lot of red on those charts, but the analysts are saying strong buy, and they're expecting that 1-year target above $30. So honestly, there may be some opportunity there for someone who wants to do their own due diligence and do your own research and look into it more.
Insiders are buying the share like crazy right now.
And if you look down here, I know you can't see it, but they are not buying it for the dividend. There is no dividend.
How long has Lovesac been a thing? Because I feel like they're a pretty young company. 1995. Oh, Dave, what did the S&P 500 return in 1995?
No idea.
2.36%.
Okay.
I did look that up earlier actually because this is about what I expected you to do.
Hold on. Someone who's in the chat. Oh. Oh, if only you had known, Charter, you could have.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you have that work trip. Man, this is. I cannot believe this is really what we're doing this week.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there anything else we want to bring up and look at? Because I think we're kind of tapped out.
Let's say I ordered a pizza. We can check how that's going.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I got. Also, man,
Lovesac.
Charter, you've got. Well, no, I was gonna say not so much free merch. I really only sent you the one thing. But you've gotten free money from me twice now too. But you did take me out to lunch, and I still appreciate that.
Yeah, when are you guys taking me out for lunch?
Charter came to me to take me out to lunch, so I think we take that up with him.
Right. Well, and as we've already predetermined, I cannot afford to travel to the U.S., so you guys have to come to me.
Except that one time. I mean, except that one time you did a few weeks ago. I keep saying, have you seen the yen chart? It's like the weakest it's been in a long time, and it's not getting better. If we all wanted to meet up in Japan, now might be the time.
Yes, Japan. That's where I'm a multi-millionaire in Japanese yen.
I
I'm
am.
sure we all are.
No, I am not.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm pretty sure you are.
Net worth wise,
Yeah.
I'm getting there because it's 160.75. I mean, let's just go on how much. Let's see here. This house is worth what?
I'm not sure what he's saying that's fair to, but
I'm gonna assume what I said about how he got free money out of me.
it is so hot here today, man. You would not believe how hot it is.
Okay, Dave, how hot? Because we got to compare now.
Oh, well, I can't. I'm going to give it to you in Celsius.
I've got the converter set up, and honestly, though, Charter, you got a point. That's why I don't want to go to Canada either.
It says 27 degrees Celsius feels like 34. So
okay, so let's go for 34. 34 is 93 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is 94 degrees Fahrenheit here right now. So I feel you.
Yeah, so it's hot. All right, what else do we got? Like literally anything? Anybody in the chat?
I promised Dave and I would answer questions, but
we are not getting.
A few of you seemed weirdly excited about that to not be asking those questions. It's 105, and you're in North Alabama too. God, now I gotta see what my parents are doing.
Wow, that is too hot, man. Go jump in a lake.
Almost sounds like a threat.
No, that's like advice. Like that's good advice. Just go jump in a lake. It's too hot to not be in a lake or a river or somewhere that's refreshing and cool.
Okay, so the feel like at my parents right now, who is about 6 hours south of Charter, is only about 100, but it's raining there, so that's probably why.
Ooh, that's got to be humid with rain.
I would kill for some rain right now. We're in such a drought here.
All right. Well, do we have anything else? Or are we just gonna is it gonna be dead air, or is Charter gonna keep the conversation going? Is Tom still here? Tom, you still here? Boomer, where did Boomer go?
To thank you all for supporting the podcast every week, Dave has prepared a song.
Okay, you want me to do that? I can get the guitar.
I want to call your bluff. I really do, but I'm afraid that you're not bluffing.
I can get the guitar. Like it's not a bluff. Yeah, that's literally like, I mean, this was just possibly, I'm not going to say the worst episode, but the worst for like anything that happened this week. And again, it goes right back to the both sides of the border, right? Canada being closed on Monday, the U.S. being closed on Thursday, and literally most of the day today. Most of the U.S. is probably closed today as well.
I was going to say I am not a financial advisor, but I work with Dividend Boomer. Said it's a good idea. I work with a lot of financial advising firms. Literally, no one is in the office today.
Right. Yeah, and also like the market closed early on Wednesday as well, which was why there was.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
There was nothing after hours on Wednesday, so. All right, there's the dog barking. Your dog barking. Mine's curled up over there doing nothing.
She's downstairs too. There's nothing I can do about it. That might mean the pizza's here.
Yeah, there you go. I think it's time for you to go and get your pizza. We'll log off early this week. We will keep it short and sweet because literally there was not much happening this week. But we will be back next Friday, as always. Hopefully, right at 5:30. Apologies for being late this evening, but thanks for sticking around.
Tom, I know you're retired. It's Saturday, my man. Tomorrow's Saturday. The day after that is Saturday. The 2 days after that is Saturday.
Yeah, for you, Tom, every single day is Saturday, so don't worry about it. All right. So, like I said, appreciate your time, Joseph. Thank you so much for joining me again this week on the Weekly Close Live. Thanks so much to Tom, Charter, and Boomer in the chat for keeping us going and giving us a few more things to talk about.
We actually have things to talk about next week, though. I did check. It's
Nice.
not going to be our best episode, but like we are actually going to keep a conversation going.
Yeah, perfect. So, as always, if you're new here and watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button. It really helps.
And please come back next week. This is not.
It's so much better. It gets so much better. Like honestly, the guys in the chat will tell you it gets way better than this.
I don't know. I'm afraid what the guys in the chat might say.
Okay, fair point. But yeah, so if you're on YouTube, click that subscribe button. If you're on any of the other platforms, please hit follow, and we will see you here again next week on the Weekly Close Live.